Namaskar. Hope you are fine and taking good care of yourselves. Because it is very important for all of us to take good care of ourselves. You must have heard the famous proverb, a healthy mind in a healthy body. Well, have you ever observed the type of land, soil, climate, plants and trees found in your area? If you haven't done this, I would request you to observe these features in your surroundings and find out as to what type of land features, climate, soil types, plant and tree cover is found in your area. Suppose you live in Gujarat and your friend lives in Kerala. What do you think? Both the areas will have same type of soil and land features. Is the climate of Kerala and Gujarat same? Whether the farmer of Gujarat and Kerala will grow the same type of crops? No. Why? Because there is variation in the type of land features, soil, climate, plant and tree cover. So today, we will talk about the second chapter of your geography book, and the name of the chapter is Land, Soil, Water, Natural Vegetation and Wildlife Resources. Let us talk about the land resources. Land is among the most important natural resources. It covers only about 30% of the total area of Earth's surface, and all parts of this small percentage are not habitable. The uneven distribution of population in different parts of the world is mainly due to varied characteristics of land and climate. Do you know 90% of the world population occupies only 30% of land area? The remaining 70% of land is either sparsely populated or uninhabited. Plains and river valleys are densely populated because these areas have fertile land for agriculture, whereas the rugged topography, steep slopes of the mountains and low-lying areas are susceptible to waterlogging and have low population. Similarly, desert areas, thick forested areas are sparsely populated or totally uninhabited. Now we will talk about land use. Land is used for different purposes like agriculture, forestry, mining, building houses, roads, setting up of industries, etc. The use of land in an area is determined by physical factors like topography, soil, climate, minerals and availability of water. Human factors such as population and technology are also important determinants of land use pattern. Land can be classified on the basis of ownership as private land and community land. Private land is owned by individuals. For example, people have their own house, fields, etc. Whereas community land is used for common uses like pasture lands, government hospitals, post offices, etc. These community lands are also called common property resources. The demands of people are ever growing, but the availability of land is limited. The quality of land also varies from place to place. People have started encroaching the common lands to build up commercial areas, housing complexes, and to expand the agricultural land in the rural areas. The over-exploitation of land resources for expansion of agricultural activities and construction work to meet ever-increasing demands of population has resulted in major threats to environment like land degradation, landslides, soil erosion, desertification, etc. Talk to your parents or grandparents and collect information about changes in the land use over the years. Write an article on the information gathered by you. Now we will talk about conservation of land resources. Conservation of land means adopting and implementing all measures that increase and maintain the productivity of land. There has been large-scale degradation of the soil cover because the forests have been cut indiscriminately to meet the growing demand for food, fuel, and timber. It has posed a major threat to agriculture also. Agriculture is the backbone of our national economy. So, all those measures which are taken to increase the productivity of soil form the basis of our country's prosperity. Protecting agricultural land and maintaining its production capacity is our duty and an important requirement. Some of the common methods for conservation of land resources are forestation, land reclamation, regulated use of chemicals and fertilizers, and check on overgrazing. Now we will talk about soil. I'm sure you must have seen soil around you. So what is soil? The thin layer of grainy substance covering the surface of the earth is called soil. The word soil has been derived from Latin word solum, meaning the substratum or the part in which the plant grows. Soil is made up of organic matter, minerals, and weathered rocks found on earth. This happens through the process of weathering. Now, what is weathering? Weathering is the breaking up and decay of exposed rocks by temperature changes, frost actions, plants, animals, and human activity. The right mix of minerals and organic matter make the soil fertile. The growth of tree plants and crops depend on the nature of the soil. The soil particles become thicker with the depth of the surface. It takes millions of years to become a few centimeters deep soil. The following reasons are responsible in the process of soil formation. The factors affecting soil formation are parent rock, relief, flora, fauna and microorganisms, climate and time. First of all, parent rock. The soil is formed from the residues obtained from the breaking of rocks. In this process, soil is formed only after prolonged chemical, physical and biological activities. The amount of nutrients in the soil depend on the parent rock. The second factor is relief. In the mountain slopes and mountainous areas, soil flows through the gradient or steep slope, due to which the depth of soil is less. At the same time, the depth of soil is more in the plains than other areas. The third point is flora, fauna and microorganisms. Flora, fauna and microorganisms affect the rate of humus formation. Rotten matter of flora and fauna combine with the soil and provide nutrition to the soil. In any soil, the maximum the amount of vegetation and other organic matter, the higher is the nutrition of soil. Next factor affecting the soil formation is climate. Temperature and rainfall also affect soil formation. Microorganisms remain more functional in areas with excessive rainfall. Due to excessive rainfall, the deposition of bacterial substances is not possible and moisture disappears from the soil. In areas of high temperatures, as a result, less fertile soil is produced. The next factor is time. As soil formation is a continuous, long and slow process, it determines the thickness of soil profile. The older the soil, the better it is. Soil is mainly composed of 5 elements: mineral matter 40 to 45%, humus or organic matter 5 to 10%, soil water 25%, soil air 25%, and then microorganisms, fungi and bacteria. Now, what is humus? Humus is the fertile and an important constituent of the soil. It is the dark organic material present on top of the soil. Consists of dead and decayed animal substances, dried leaves, twigs, grasses, vegetables, microbes and other nutrients. Well students, do all parts of India have same types of soil? No. I would like to tell that different types of soils are found in different parts of India. I would like to tell that the types of soils vary in different parts of India. The main types of soils found in India are alluvial soils, black soil, red soil, laterite soil, desert soil and mountainous soil. The diagram that is being shown on your TV screen is of soil profile. What is a soil profile? A soil profile is a vertical cross section of the soil made of layers running parallel to the surface. These layers are known as soil horizons. Soil profile can be seen by looking at the sides of recently dug trench or while digging a well or foundation of a building. Through this diagram of soil profile, we can understand the process of soil formation. Let us start from parent rock or bedrock. Parent rocks are the rocks which are big and hard, and from these big rocks, smaller rocks break down due to agents of weathering like wind, water, heat of the sun, plants and animals. And when these parent rocks break down, the second layer is formed. The layer of weathered rock material is formed. The second layer of soil profile is subsoil with sand, silt and clay. This layer is formed when the pieces or the weathered rock material gets further broken down to form sand, silt and ultimately into finer particles. This process continues for years and is very slow. And at last, the topsoil is formed with humus and vegetation. Now, let us talk about degradation of soil and its conservation. Soil erosion and depletion are the major threats to soil as a resource. Both human and natural factors can lead to degradation of soil. The human factors responsible for degradation of soil are deforestation, overgrazing, overuse of chemical fertilizers or pesticides, construction activities, mining, etc. The natural factors for degradation of soil are water, air, glaciers, sea waves, landslides, floods, etc. What is a landslide? Landslide is the mass movement of rocks, debris or earth down a slope. Landslides often occur in places which are affected by earthquakes, floods and volcanoes. Well, We all know that soil is the basis of life. So there is a dire need to conserve soil. Some of the methods of soil conservation are mulching. What is mulching? A mulch is a layer of material applied to the surface of soil. It is a protective covering of straw or plastic sheeting spread on the ground around plants. It helps in preventing excessive evaporation and improves the quality of soil. The second method is terrace cultivation. In terrace cultivation, wide steps are cut around the slopes of hills to prevent soil erosion. Terrace farming alters the shape of the slope to produce flat areas that provide a catchment for water. You must have seen terrace farms in the hilly areas. Contour plowing. In contour plowing, the land is plowed across the slopes and along the contour lines. It reduces soil erosion and makes rainwater infiltrate into the soil more. Shelter belts. In the coastal and dry regions, rows of trees are planted to check the wind movement to protect soil cover. Shelter belts prevent soil erosion. Rock dams. Rock dams are small barriers or dams constructed of stone, bagged sand or gravel. The rocks are piled up to slow down the flow of water. This prevents gullies and further soil loss. Intercropping. Intercropping is another way of soil conservation. Different crops are grown in alternate rows and are sown at different times to protect the soil from washing away due to rain. Now, let us try to answer some questions. What we have to do? We have to select the right option from the given options and answer. The first question is, a dark organic material that is found in topsoil is sand, humus, silt or clay. The right answer is humus. Second question is, in hilly areas, most common method of soil conservation is formation of shelter belts, mulching, terrace cultivation and crop rotation. The right answer is, in hilly areas, the most common method of soil conservation is terrace cultivation. Third question is, the land use has increased with the growing population. It has resulted in improving the quality of land, degrading the quality of land. There has been no change in the quality of land. Complete decay of soil cover. The right answer is degrading the quality of land. Fourth question is, people always prefer to live in those regions or areas that have beautiful sightseeing, thick forests, ample opportunities of employment or means of recreation? The right answer is people always prefer to live in the areas that have ample opportunities of employment. And now some more questions for you to solve. First question is, why is conservation of land important? Second question is, discuss with your friends or parents that as an aware citizen of India, how can you contribute in soil conservation? So, till now we have done land as a resource and its use, conservation of land resources, soil, factors affecting soil formation, soil profile, degradation of soil and conservation of soil. I hope today's class have helped you to know the importance of land resources and soil resources. We need to stop over-exploitation of land and soil resources because it is officially estimated that 44% of our land is already degraded. Also, soil is important for sustenance of life and to ensure a steady supply of food and biodiversity. That's all for today. Stay healthy and take good care of yourselves. Namaskar.